So I'm not really sure where this video is going to take us, but I figured I would just do one of these for the channel because I've kind of been thinking this way. And I know that a lot of viewers are thinking this way. A lot of investors, like generally in cryptocurrency and Pulse Chain and stuff like that, are feeling this way. And I got a comment, well, we got a comment on this channel a couple of weeks ago when Ewok and I were doing a stream. And I've been getting like kind of more into the theories and feelings of investing and how behaviorally, psychologically, how it impacts you, not just like so much when number go up or like this, that, or the other thing, or, you know, whatever that we typically talk about. And I've been intrigued with this idea recently of expectation, outcome independence, essentially. And if you would type that into YouTube, you'll get flooded mainly with like red pill channels and dating and stuff like that, which is fine. But like some of these terms have been co-opted by like certain movements, and that's not, I mean, sure, yeah, you can use that in that walk of life, but I'm not referencing that if you happen to see that. But, and also I want to say too, I by no means am I able to live the principles I'm about to talk about every single day flawlessly. I struggle with it every single day. I have to watch content, read things, remind myself through little practices and stuff. Even doing this video right now, you know, I was thinking about doing this in the shower today because I've just been kind of inspired by some of these ideas lately and stuff. But, you know, everybody wants the cycle to be at the point they want it to be at. Everybody wants to, whatever your goal is, like financial freedom, whatever that amount of money may be for you, or whatever standing in life you want to gain, whatever your goals are from crypto. I have no idea what they are. What I do know is like all of us are conditioned very heavily by the people around us, social media, unfortunately. In other words, people that aren't really around you, even though we may have like a cool, tight community within like Pulse Chain and Hex and stuff like that. And in crypto in general, people live vastly different lives in vastly different parts of the world, you know. But this idea of outcome independence, I was talking about it a couple of weeks ago with Ewok, and somebody brought up really enjoying that segment. And I think it's really important to like, this isn't me, like, I hate, it's so weird and funny to me, like when I see comments on our channel, and we're just a small part of the Pulse Chain community and stuff, but when I see comments like, oh, there you go, Pulse Chain influencers moving the goalposts again, or something like that, it's like so funny for me to think of somebody watching our channel and like holding me up or Ewok up as like a Pulse Chain influencer. Like, I don't give a shit what you want to do, you know, or what you do at all. And I empower you to do whatever you want to do with your life and your money. I would never coerce somebody to do anything really. You know, we invite you on the channel to, you know, watch content about DeFi principles that we enjoy, and we both happen to be involved with Pulse Chain, and you can go do whatever you want to do. You know, I'm never going to tell somebody else what to do. So it's funny to me when I see stuff like that, but I do this thing where I like qualify what I'm about to talk about too often. But what I'm saying is, when people say stuff like that, it's like when I talk about outcome independence, to me, it's not like moving the goalposts of like, when is Pulse Chain going to get to this number? When is Bitcoin going to get to this number? When is the cycle going to be over? It's more so just, I will go through life feeling better, feeling more comfortable about things, if I'm not tied to a specific time frame. Okay, so a lot of people talk about the crypto cycle ending in the fall of 2025. Everybody's ready for like, you know, maybe midway through 2025 or by December of 2025, whatever it is. Like, that's kind of been the time frame all along. And of course, you know, the crypto roller coaster takes you to all these places that you didn't think you were going to go to, like Bitcoin getting to a new all-time high pre-halving in 2024, which is just insane. And it creates new timelines for you, and you start to think about a left translated cycle, and oh my God, like, okay, so Bitcoin's at 73K, Pulse Chain's like at all-time lows, or, you know, whatever. And it creates a lot of pain, obviously, especially if you're not in the stuff that has gone up, you know, which isn't a lot of things, but it's been some things. And for me, that idea of outcome independence, of like, I don't know when the things I'm invested in, and this doesn't even just go to investments, it's something I've been trying to practice in many areas of my life, but I don't know when this thing is going to happen, but I want to focus on the process. And because this is a crypto channel and we talk about Pulse Chain, that's what I'll kind of focus it on. But it's like, at the end of the day, am I going to change my thesis of what I'm invested in? Are there other things that I'm tempted to get into and I'm going to, like, there's a chance I don't believe in this investment enough that I may ditch it or totally change my course of action or something? No. Like, for me personally, no, that's not true. And I know for Ewok, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm pretty sure it's true for him as well. So it's like, I know that, for lack of a better way of saying it, I'm going to go down with the ship if it would go down. You know what I mean? So why ruminate? And I'm not saying this to you, I'm saying this to myself. And hopefully it can help you if you feel this way sometimes, but like, why ruminate constantly on when's this going to happen? When's that going to happen? Oh my God, we somehow are returning to all-time lows. And how do we pump back in like March of 2024? And now here we are in mid-August and we're back here, I've had all those thoughts, not just about, again, not even just about crypto, not just about Pulse Chain, but like things in my life, much like you guys probably have. The last few years have been like the most in my personal life, and I just had a birthday, so I don't know if it's why I'm thinking about this and reflecting a lot, but the last few years in my life, handful of years, have been like some of the most tumultuous, but now I think, and it seems like coming out on the other side, my perception of it anyway, that I've gotten through a lot of the stuff that I went through, and it's getting better now. Like, I see a very clear path. There's been a lot of concrete things in my life that have changed for the better over the course of the last few years, just progressively getting better. And I've been reflecting on that and trying to remember that and go through life realizing that, as I just hit my birthday here, which I always kind of look at as like the true marker of a new year instead of like an erroneous date on January 1st. I always use my birthday kind of for that. But I've just been thinking, like, it's good to take these reflections of like, wow, I see like crypto and the investments may not be where I want them to be right now, but things in front of me in my own personal life have gotten like demonstrably better because of things I've done, processes I've put in place over the last few years, without getting into way too much detail. I mean, I know it's probably annoying to hear somebody go on about stuff like that and not know what they're talking about, but essentially, not something nobody else has gone through, but separation a couple years into having a child with this person, a separation that I wanted, which, that's good anyway. But even though you want it and you initiate it, there's still a lot of things that go along with that if you've been through this, obviously, especially if you were married to the person. I luckily was not. But a lot of that, especially with the child involved, who, especially if you're prioritizing the child, number one, there's just so many things that do go into that, So I won't get way too personal with that. But I mean, luckily, a lot of those things have just gotten progressively better and better and better. And I think because of, I've tried to act with my child in mind, who's, still young, not just him in mind, but like at the forefront of everything, and every action that I've taken, I've tried to, I know from the bottom of my heart that it's been like a moral, virtuous, and I don't mean that in like a look at me type of way, but I know that the choices I'm making are genuine, real choices that I'm trying to make for the betterment of his life and my life and all these things. So yeah, I've just been reflecting recently on how like my personal life has gotten way, way better. And tying that back to like the outcome independence thing, I've had to practice that in my personal life. And I think we really have to practice it in investing in cryptocurrency because it is such a wild ride. And, people are wanting to get mad gains quickly and not be patient. Frank Molina talks about this a lot. I really value his content because he does go beyond just like, liquidity and staking, and I mean, that stuff's great. You need to know how to do stuff in crypto, but I like how his mindset talks. Which has maybe partially inspired me to do this, but as well as that comment about the outcome independence a couple of weeks ago. But I think it's really important to just keep your head on a swivel and not have this extremely specific, rigid idea of exactly when the cycle is going to end, exactly what you need your portfolio to be, and all these things. I do think, on the other hand, that you need to be ready for when it happens in some way, as a way of potentially scaling out of the market. I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody how to do that. I have my own plans for it. But I think you also need to be very specific about what you want your life to look like when we get there. I'm not saying that you want to have, like, it's going to happen by this time and it's going to be this price and all these things. And I'm not even saying like my house is going to look like this when I get there. I'm going to have this car. I do like those things. Like, I like painting a picture of what I want my life to be and the little changes I want to make, along the way and everything, because it motivates you even more to kind of like have that picture of what you are wanting your life to be. But I also don't want to be a slave to that and be tied down to like, oh, when I get there, then I'll be happy. You of course want to be happy along the way, or at least be in the moment along the way to be able to experience everything in your life. But that's really it. I just wanted to talk about the outcome independence idea, and to really not be tied to these specific time frames. We talk about them incessantly and stuff because it is interesting, and we want to have an idea of what's going on, and we have a history of Bitcoin cycles and stuff like that to go off of. But when you get beaten down as much as you can be in this game, like with Ethereum just being absolute dog shit for so long, the market tanking there a couple of weekends ago, and where's the world economy going, and all these things. If you're going to get bogged down by it in the U.S. election and all this shit, I mean, they're just things that are not going to bring you any happiness. So I would say, look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. Are you invested in what you want to be invested in? Are you living the life that you want to live? Are you living the life with purpose, making decisions that you feel are for the betterment of your life and everything? And if you can put your head on the pillow at night feeling that way, I would encourage you to keep doing the same thing and just keep focusing on the process. Like Ewok and I, we show up every week and we do a show. That's what we do. I love like Corey and Dane. They many days of the week they show up and they do a show. Sami every single day is pumping out videos and stuff like that. I like the idea of having a process in place. Like, this is work we do regardless, with the purpose of continuing to invest to hopefully attain, everybody's here to attain financial freedom. And you say financial freedom, but it's really time. Like, I just freedom. I want to be able to transact with how I want, be with who I want, do what I want within reason at certain times. Not necessarily saying like I want to be a king and nobody's going to tell me what to do and I'm going to jet set all over the world and stuff. I don't mean like that, but have the time on your hands to do and be with who you want to be with, So just kind of a reminder, and I know it's a change of pace type of video for the channel, but it's a lot of stuff I've been thinking about and reflecting upon recently. And I wanted to pass it along to you guys. So I'll probably do more stuff like this when I'm, sitting around and inspired to do so. I'll upload this shortly, but Ewok and I will be taking a week off, kind of going with this theme on Wednesday, August the 21st. He's going on a vacation. I'm doing the same with my son. So, it's nice to unplug a little bit this time of year, I think. Especially, I've always felt that way. I'm sure a lot of you guys are dealing with like school coming up and everything. This is a really interesting time of year to me always, not only because my birthday, I guess, is this time of year, but like there's a lot of transition. It's a bittersweet time of year. It's like, well, it's still summer. If you're in the United States, like it's especially in certain areas, but it's still summer, but things are about to get ratcheted up and get like really crazy, whether you're in school or have a child that goes to school or whatever it is. There's just so many things going on. So it's an interesting time of year to me. But anyway, I'm rambling. So thank you guys for watching this. We'll catch you later.